Omar ibn al-Khattab once warned, "Do not make him a commander of an army because he might destroy them with his bravery." Our hero today was a tiny man, with bones sticking out and curly hair. People would often overlook him, dismissing him as someone insignificant. Yet, in a single battle, he managed to kill 100 of the Muslims' enemies. His name was Al-Baraa ibn Malik al-Anssari, the brother of Anas ibn Malik, our beloved Prophet's servant. To recount all his acts of bravery would take forever. Instead, let's focus on a few glimpses from his life. The story begins in the very first hours after the death of our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him. The tribes of Arabia started leaving Islam in groups and as individuals. Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, stood tall to control this calamity that had befallen the Ummah. The most formidable tribe he faced was Banu Hanifa, led by the notorious liar Musaylama al-Kadhib. This liar had an army of about 40,000 troops, warriors who followed him out of nationalistic or tribal pride, even though they knew he was a liar. Some would even say, "I testify that Musaylama is a liar and that Muhammad, peace be upon him, is truthful." However, the liar of Rabia is more beloved to us than the truthful of Madar. Musaylama's army defeated the first Muslim force led by the companion Ikrimah ibn Abi Jahl. In response, Abu Bakr sent another army, led by Khalid ibn al-Walid, may Allah be pleased with him, which included our hero, Al-Baraa ibn Malik. The armies met in the land of Yamama in Najd. It didn't take long for the army of apostasy to gain the upper hand. As desperation and defeat crept into the Sahaba, everyone shouted for the tribesmen to stand strong. Our hero, Al-Baraa, rallied the Ansar with a passionate cry, "O Ansar, don't even think about going back to Medina. There is no Medina for you after today. There is only Allah and Jannah." He then took his sword and leaped into the waves of the enemy, not looking back, swinging his sword and taking off heads. The enemy's army started retreating and they fled to a nearby garden, later known as the Garden of Death because of how many were killed there by Al-Baraa. Then they retreated to a fortress, closed the door, and began shooting arrows at the Muslims. Because Al-Baraa was a tiny man, he told his companions to lift him with their spears and throw him over the wall. Either he would be martyred, or he would open the fortress door for them. And so they did. Tens of companions carried him over, and he descended on the enemy by the door, swinging his sword and killing 10 of them, opening the door for the rest of the companions. Al-Baraa had over 80 cuts from swords and arrows, but because of him, the Muslims were victorious. They killed over 20,000 of Musaylama's army. Follow us for more stories of the companions.